You're watching ESPN's coverage of Champ Week presented by Principal. The Honda Center in Anaheim, just down the road from Disneyland, a spot in the NCAA tournament at stake. Cal State Fullerton advancing to its first Big West Championship game in a decade, beating the top seed last night, UC Davis, 55-52, overcoming a 13-point second-half deficit. They will face UC Irvine, which survived a last-second three-point try by UC Santa Barbara. Irvine will compete in its 7th title games. We'll have a 7 different champion in 7 years here in Anaheim. It's the 4 seed against the 3 seed. Max Hazard off the bench has been great in this tournament with 31 points, including 16 in 27 minutes last night. And Dave Pash alongside Karan Butler. Karan, as you look at this matchup tonight, UC Irvine known mostly for its defense. What do you expect here? Yeah,
it's a tale of two tapes. Fullerton is going to come out and try to be aggressive offensively. And then UC Irvine, they hang their hat on the defensive end of the floor, so they're going to have to bring their lunch pail and come out there and defend and control the rebound and keep the pace of the game in their favor. And if they do that, they have an excellent shot at pulling away with this victory.
Fullerton last made the NCAA tournament in 2008. They've only been there twice, 78 and 08. Irvine won this championship in 2015. Otherwise, they are 1-5 in Big West tournament championship games. Automatic bid to the big dance at stake tonight. Here's first team all Big West performer Tommy Rutherford, 42 in white. Evan Leonard, the leading scorer, but was held without a point last night. He was 0 for 6 from the floor. A miss by Edgar. And rebounded by Akeem Robertson of Cal State Fullerton.
Saw the miss by Edgar right there, but he was huge last game. One of the main reasons that they're in this championship game because of him knocking down shots, contested shots with contact was amazing.
Yeah, he had 14 points last night. Averages just 8 per game. Former walk-on who got a scholarship, Edgar, from Chino Hills. Great friend of Lonzo Ball.
They kind of run that area, don't they?
Well, if you ask LeVar Ball, they run everything. Here's Khalil Ahmad, 15 points per game on the season. The second leading scorer for Cal State Fullerton, but a misfire. Here's Jonathan Galloway. He's out there to set screens and defend. He's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big West. Sets a screen here for Leonard. And Leonard, 0 for 6 last night, 0 for 1 tonight.
Even though he missed that first shot right there, that was an excellent look, and he has to remain aggressive if the Anteaters got a shot at winning this game.
Robertson underneath, lost the handle, and turned it over. Boy, this seems a little bit like what we saw in both games last night. Slow starts offensively. How much is you've competed in these kind of games, obviously, how much of that is nerves?
Yeah, it's all nerves. You're getting the jitters out early, trying to get into a flow, trying to find your rhythm. You see the ball, it's rather slippery. Shots are a little short. But, everybody's effort and energy is in the right place.
Offensive foul here on Tommy Rutherford. First foul in the game. Russ Turner, in his 8th year as the head coach at UC Irvine. He was with Mike Montgomery at Stanford as an assistant, then with the Warriors as an assistant there as well.
Dave, it seems like the same thing as last game. You see Coach Russ elected to make the early substitution just about a minute and a half in the game.
Yeah, and he brings in Elston Jones, who had a good game last night. That plan worked last night.
Not broke. Don't try to fix it. Do it again.
Jones had 11 points off the bench, 4 offensive rebounds. Shot clock inside 10. A Wishica wild shot, and there's Jones with a good block out.
Excellent defense right there.
Leonard driving, and he's finally on the board.
A positive sign right there by Leonard, taking advantage of the closeout. The hezzy dribble, changing gears, and finishing over the contact.
In the quarterfinals, he had 24 points, but again last night, fouled out and did not score. 3-ball goes for Kyle Allman, the leading scorer in the Big West this year.
He has to be huge for them as well. Got in foul trouble last game. Rowe was able to do the offensive things needed to get them over the hump, but they definitely need him to be aggressive if they're going to have a shot to win this game today.
Yeah, Allman had just 8 points last night. Worku misses inside. Here comes Fullerton. Allman penetrates and draws the foul on Elston Jones, his first. Turner's won 3 Big West regular season titles. They won the Big West tournament 3 years ago.
How amazing was that? Just sitting over here talking to Coach Russ and talking about his Golden State years and Don Nelson and reminiscing. His basketball knowledge is so in-depth. He really understands the game inside out.
Well, obviously he impressed you enough that you're sending your son to play for him next year.
You know, Karan Jr., J.C. Butler out of Wisconsin. The Prairie School will be attending UC Irvine. He will be an anteater next year. Looking forward to coming up to campus and watching so many of those games.
5-2, Fullerton with the early lead, and Kyle Allman has all their points. And a turnover by Irvine. Transition opportunity and the basket for Awishika.
Look at the pace. You know, getting the defensive stop, getting out in transition, and Awishika finishing with the finesse.
And 7 straight points for Cal State Fullerton. And a foul is called. Elston Jones will go to the line when we come back.
You see the guys just getting that stop and getting out of transition, and look at it, Awishika finishing in the flow.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance, and Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. This is Fit.
How many of us got a little butterflies, a little nervous? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? What that tells me is that we're ready. All that means is that we're ready to rock and roll. So if you come out with good energy, good effort, and it's consistent, we can come back in here and expect to have a good time. Let's get out and let's rock, baby. Here we go.
That's Dedrick Taylor, the head coach of Cal State Fullerton in his 5th year. Former assistant for Herb Sendek at Arizona State. He's been to the NCAA tournament one time. That was when James Harden was there and led them to the big dance. Trying to get there now as a head coach. Cal State Fullerton also trying to get its 20th win of the season.
You know what? That was the same type of speech which he addressed the team last game at halftime. And they came out second half with just a different approach, different disposition, a different mindset. And they was able to get the quality win.
Missed free throw by Elston Jones. And in that message last night, we kind of heard it there. Very positive. And we had a chance to talk to him before the game and said, is that normally your demeanor? He said, absolutely not. He said, but I just felt last night that's what our guys needed at that moment. And he definitely pushed the right buttons because they played very well in that second half.
Well, Dave, that's the balance you got to have as a head coach. You have to understand your personnel. You have to understand the personalities in that locker room, and he knew exactly how to adjust to the moment.
1 out of 2 for Elston Jones at the line, only a 33% free throw shooter. So the Anteaters will take that. Here's Allman driving, and he's fouled. He's got 5 of the 7 points already, and he'll go back to the line already 2 for 2. Jones picked up his 2nd foul. And they won 7 of their last 9 games and only finished 2 games out of first place in the tight race in the Big West. How about beat UC Davis 3 times, the #1 seed, beat him twice in the regular season and then last night in the semifinal.
That's unheard of. But we talked about that. Some teams over the course of a season, it's just that whatever it is, you know that if you keep it a possession game, keep it close, that you can get over the hump with that particular team, and it seemed like they have their number.
You guys had, some great matchups in the old Big East days when you were at UConn. Was there any team in particular you just had their number,
Absolutely.
even though they were a great team?
Yeah, everybody. And you know what the it was? Me and Ben Gordon.
All-Americans?
All-Americans. We had the it factor. We're going to get back to that.
Obviously the news today about Kevin Ollie with Connecticut. Here's Hazard missing and rebounded by Jackson Rowe. Had a double-double last night. Almost a turnover by Allman. Here's Jamal Smith, son of assistant coach John Smith, and he fires to Allman, who nails the three, and it's 11-3 Cal State Fullerton.
Listen, he's coming out being extremely aggressive. He's not second-guessing his game. Got in foul trouble last game. He know that they need his scoring and his production, and he's bringing it.
He already has 9 points. Karan, he had 8 all of last night. Here's Edgar for 3. Can't answer. And wow. Smith hits the deck hard. Foul by Brad Green, his first.
Look at the penetration right here. Ahmed with a defender all in his grill. Just pulled up, and then he skipped to Malou right in front of the bench. You feel some type of way. That's what you call being in your bag.
There's John Smith, who we were talking about, his son Jamal, who was so big last night. Didn't have huge numbers, but 6 rebounds for a point guard as the backup point guard, playing clutch minutes down the stretch, a walk-on, who is one of the reasons why this team's here. You see him leading right now, pointing to Kyle Allman to use the screen. Owishika through the paint. Underneath to Rowe. And that is 5 team fouls on UC Irvine.
That's where you can find Rowe all last game. On that baseline, working the seams, open pockets, and finding ways to finish around the rim and keeping them into the game.
And Rowe, good free throw shooter, around 78% this year.
Dave, you talked about Allman, having a rough game yesterday with the foul trouble and not scoring his typical self, 19 a clip. But right now, already, 2 for 2 from three-point shooting, 2 rebounds, his activity, his production, his leadership, and they're following his lead.
And Allman, man, he can catch fire quickly. He had a 40-point game this year and 4 30-point games. Led the Big West in three-point shooting and scoring in conference games. Max Hazard into the game now, brings a lot of energy off the bench. Hazard had 16 last night, a 3-ball here. No good. Rebounded by Allman. Entry pass broken up. Brad Green deflecting it for UC Irvine. Leonard's 3 is good.
The ball movement side to side. Hazard coming down, penetrating, moving it from side to side and getting it over to Leonard in the corner, who also struggled last game and found his stroke.
Has 5 points already. Nothing last night, though. Allman hit the deck, but got it to Smith, and Smith knocks down a long one.
Well, we see a young fella. He actually hit the shot and just shook his head like, y'all gonna give me that airspace? Y'all gonna be in for a long night.
It's a 2-pointer for Smith, his first basket.
Very confident player.
Foul here on the drive. Second team foul on Cal State Fullerton. Champ Week presented by Principal rolls on tomorrow at 1 Eastern. It's the SEC Championship game. Boy, Kentucky put on a show today against Alabama. Can they culminate in a championship? They've got to beat Tennessee tomorrow on ESPN. And it'll be interesting to see, with Alabama losing and losing big, if the Tide makes it into the big dance right now. Joe Lunardi has them as a 9 seed.
They'll make it.
You think so?
All you want to do is get in. Whether you're 4, 5, 9.
Another 3 by Leonard, his second triple. But to your point, Alabama's got a player in Colin Sexton who's good enough that they can pull an upset and win you a couple games.
Yeah, you get in, and with the guard play and, you know, the activity that those guys possess, you can beat anybody.
Six-point deficit for UC Irvine. Here's Green on the cut. Can't get the roll. That might have been goaltending. It was close. Heinzel touched the ball, and it appeared to be either on the rim or just falling off. Rowe goes behind the back. Fires to Smith. Heinzel got deep, but couldn't hit. Evan Leonard, 8 points so far, 3 of 4 shooting, 2 of 2 from 3. They double Rutherford and Hazard. Ball is knocked out of bounds, and we got a timeout on the floor.
You had to check to see was that ball on the cylinder on that last possession. See Green driving to the basket, made himself available on the cut. Oh, he got away with one.
Karan, how about Evan Leonard with the bounce back so far?
Yeah, he's found his rhythm. You know, Coach Rush talked about that. He's going to be aggressive. He's been big time. He's the reason why they're in this position. And look, no one in sight coming off that clean look. And it's following through. He's not second guessing his offensive ability tonight.
He's got 8 points. He's missed just 1 shot. UC Irvine, 18 wins. They started 4-10. They lost 3 All Big West players from last year. Leonard didn't even play in the Big West tournament last year because of all the veterans they had on the roster. And he's their leading scorer this year. So they're a young team, and they have an opportunity to get to the NCAA tournament if they can win tonight.
That's what you talk about, being engaged and having a young guy on the roster, learning, watching, receiving all that priceless information, and then coming in this year and bringing it.
Offensive rebound by Brad Green, and the stick back makes it a 4-point game.
I like the activity by Green early, even on the defensive end. Had an excellent shot block down there, and now scoring on the layup. His activity is key tonight.
Great block by Green, but they get it back underneath. Robertson puts it in.
Robinson finds a way to just get to loose balls and quick putbacks, and he's more than capable of making shots on the foul line too.
Ahmad with the steal ahead to Awishika, who can't score, but he was fouled. That's 2 on Tommy Rutherford, a first-team All Big West player. And the 16th foul on UC Irvine. Free throws for Austin Awishika, sophomore from Chino Hills.
Somewhat of a telegraph pass right there on that steal.
And Russell Turner still arguing the foul call with Daryl Gelinas. Awishika misses the second one. That's the 8th free throw attempt for Cal State Fullerton. Irvine has only taken 2 foul shots. Green, good move, just couldn't finish.
It's a good look. Excellent job carving out some space. Just came a little short on the jump hook.
Awishika drives again, floats it up over Green, but it won't fall. 7-point lead for Cal State Fullerton. Nobody picks up Worku in transition, but he missed the open jumper. Falling away, Ahmad won't go. He's yet to score, and he was the second leading scorer for the Titans during the regular season. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with UC Irvine. Well, tomorrow, Selection Sunday, 7 Eastern. Bracketology with Reese, Jay Will, Jay Bill, Seth, Dickie V. They'll have complete breakdowns of each region. SportsCenter will start us off at 5 on ESPN with the reveal of the NCAA men's field of 68. And then at 7 Eastern, it's bracketology. We'll see how accurate Joey Brackets is this year.
He's usually right on point.
I think he's missed something like 5 and 7 years, something crazy like that. Jumper won't fall.
That's amazing.
Devon Clare, no good on the 3. Boarded by Leonard. Werku gets it back out to Edgar. Leonard, great move and a 3-point opportunity.
Oh,
Leonard
my.
already with 10 points.
Oh my. The speed and strength and body control by Leonard. Changing gears right here, freezing, putting his head down, taking the contact from Rowe with the kiss off the glass. Yeah, he focused.
So he's got 10 of the 13 points. Had a stretch where he was averaging 22 points per game in a 3-game stretch coming into last night. Had that rough outing, but he shook it off and has had a terrific first half.
The bounce back game is strong.
Ahmad, kind of a wild shot, wouldn't fall. Ahead to Leonard, attacking and scoring again. A one-man show for Irvine.
He must have came to the gym bumping Khaled. Took the top off the Maybach.
He's got 13 of the 16 points for UC Irvine. Ahmad leaves it for Rowe, and it was knocked out of bounds. Leonard makes the defensive play there.
Look at Leonard right here running the lane, not controlling the ball this time, but getting out in transition and finishing with the layup. And we talked about him scoring today. Great players have short memories. He bounced back, and it's much needed.
Look at Rowe muscling to get that offensive rebound and a fresh 30. Allman can't bank it in. Another rebound for Leonard. He's got 3 boards and a turnover. Owishiku rejected by Galloway. The 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And a foul is called here on Cal State Fullerton on the drive by Werku.
You see them in flow right here, going up for the easy 2. Oh, the janitor got cleanup duty.
Come on, bust them up, let's go.
Behind the back.
You know that feeling that you only get this time of year?
For the win, yes!
Welcome back.
Well, in this championship, every year there's been a different winner. The last 7 years, 7 champs. So if Cal State Fullerton wins tonight, it'll be 8 champions in 8 years here at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Cal State Fullerton's last championship was in 2008. Their last NCAA appearance, Irvine won it in 2015. They lost in the title game last year to UC Davis. And it's a 2-point lead for Cal State Fullerton. 17 foul on UC Irvine, so 1-1, and the front end is good for Devon Clare. Foul was on Jonathan Galloway of Irvine, his first. And both free throws are good for Clare.
That's the first point scored for them in the last 3 minutes.
Good defense by Awishika, breaking up the pass. They got 3 steals already. Rowe facing up. Pretty move, just couldn't finish it. And again, Leonard, man, this guy's everywhere. He's the leading scorer. He's got 4 rebounds. We've seen him active defensively as well.
He's engaged today. He really is. And Coach Rush touched on it. They need him to be aggressive and make shots, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Missed by Edgar. Here comes Fullerton. Allman got off to a great start. 9 quick points, but quiet since. Eau Claire passed up an open shot. Claire rattles that one around and down, and the lead is back to 6 for the Titans.
How crafty of a move was that? You know, using the pivot, coming back away from the defense. Nice touch.
Claire averages 3 points per game. He's already got 4. Good look underneath to Galloway. And he can't get the bounce, but it's tapped out to Worku. 3 goes for Leonard. What a half. 16 of the 19 points for Irvine.
Yeah, he's connected.
What's the biggest difference with him as you're kind of watching his demeanor compared to what you saw last night?
I don't think he had any connection last game. But if you see him tonight, he came in, he asked for the Wi-Fi passcode, and he is connected. Making shots, energy, effort. And then you see Claire driving. Look at the pivot. Nice finish.
Here's Claire again, penetrating this time. Gets it sent back by Galloway. Second block. Defensive Player of the Year last year and this year, the second person ever to repeat in the Big West Conference.
Talk about Leonard even more. You know, scored the last 8 points for Irvine. And 14 of the last 16 scored by Leonard.
Hazard in transition. No good, but there's Green again. Brad Green, quality minutes off the bench.
His service is much needed, using his body well, carving out space, getting that rebound, going right back up, not shying away from the contact. Green.
A lot of contact underneath. Allman throws it away. Hazard attacking. Puts it up and in, and UC Irvine with its first lead since the opening seconds of the game. So it's a 7-0 run by UC Irvine, and the Anteaters able to get out and run a little bit to take the lead.
How good has Hazard been this whole tournament? Making moves, shots, and this is only a matter of time before him and Worku, you know, find a way to get going, and that's exactly what they need with the play of Leonard right now. And you get 2 more guys playing at that level, it's gonna be tough to stop.
Max Hazard, grandson of the late Walt Hazard, has had a terrific tournament, as you mentioned, at the game-winning shot in the quarterfinals and had 15 points in that game. Had 16 last night. Claire loses the ball out of play, but they're going to say it was touched last by the Anteaters. Where's the offense going to come from? Just 4 points in the last 4 minutes for Cal State Fullerton. When in doubt, go to Allman, but he can't finish in the paint. Leading scorer in the Big West this year. 9 quick points tonight, but nothing since. Here's Hazard. Catch and shoot. Short on the 3.
Probably was a rush shot right there by Hazard. Was in a rhythm. Felt a little good about it. Felt a little short.
And then a reach-in foul on the shot attempt by Ahmad. To get Galloway for his second foul. They're going to actually say it was on the floor, even though it did look like he was in the act of shooting. So it'll be a 1-and-1. That's the 18th foul on UC Irvine. Khalil Ahmad, who is a second-team All-Big West performer this year, yet to score tonight, though, 0 for 3 from the floor. His first free throw attempt. And he gets his first point.
See Leonard making his way back in the game as well.
At one point, Leonard had 16 of the 19 points. He has 16 of the 23. Both free throws go for Ahmad. Hazard using the screen, going baseline. And the timer at 8. Worku, tough pass to handle for Green. Leonard has to let it fly with 1 on the shot clock. Off the front rim and rebounded by Smith.
Leonard almost got that one to go too. It's just that type of night for him.
Just his second miss of the game. And Allman fouled. He'll shoot free throws when we come back with Cal State Fullerton leading by 1 late in the first half. Monday, March 12th, we'll have the exclusive live announcement of the 64-team NCAA Women's Championship field again this year at 7 Eastern on ESPN, and bonus hour coverage at 8 on ESPNU. The NCAA Women's Selection Special presented by Capital One, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Here at the Big West Men's Championship, guy that's really putting on a show tonight after struggling last night, Evan Leonard, a guy that didn't even get a chance to play in this tournament last year because of the depth on UC Irvine, has become their go-to scorer.
That was so valuable. You know, the experience of, traveling with the team, not being able to play last year, going through that moment, and then knowing exactly how to prepare for this situation going forward. It almost put me in the mind of, Ben Simmons looking at the association and him having that first year to go around and see the travel and see things, and then now being prepared. He's a front runner for the Rookie of the Year this season in the association. So amazing comparison with both of those guys, and just to see Leonard performing the way he is, amazing.
So you go Simmons or Donovan Mitchell right now?
I would have to say Simmons, just off the fact that they're in playoff contention. I believe they're the top 7 in the Eastern Conference. But make no mistake, the Spider is doing work in Utah.
Yes, he is, and they're not out of it. They're only a game out of the playoffs right now in the West.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad with co-rookies, but it's only going to be one MVP this year. And that's James Harden. That's
the guy that Dietrich Taylor coached when he was an assistant at Arizona State. Now in his 5th year as the head coach at Fullerton. Timer at 6. Irvine down 2, and a block by Robertson.
Excellent timing right there by Robertson, coming over from the weak side and catching that.
Got a total of 7 blocks in this game. 5 by UC Irvine. That's the second one by Cal State Fullerton.
Used to seeing that defensive effort from Irvine, but you see the Titans buying in on that end as well.
Ahmad, turnaround jumper, won't fall, and Hazard has the loose ball. Worku left alone, and well, it was Leonard last night struggling. Tonight it's Worku. He's 0 for 5 from the floor.
You think he's gonna stop shooting?
No. He's fearless. We saw that in the last 2 games here in Anaheim.
Fullerton 1 for 14.
Smith fires to an open Ahmad. And both teams really struggling shooting the ball, both under 30%, and then a turnover by UC Irvine. Sloppy offense. Coming up in the Audi halftime report, scores and highlights from all the games today. The latest bracketology from Joe Lunardi. Who's in, who's out. Kevin Connors, LaFonso Ellis, Dan Dockich in the studio. It's a one-bid league here in the Big West, and potential that the winner of this game will be playing in Dayton this week. Last year, UC Davis, the Big West champ, they played in the first four. And where you have a 3 seed and a 4 seed, there's a good chance that the winner of this game will be playing Tuesday or Wednesday. UC Davis won a game last year in Dayton, but then lost to Kansas. Another Irvine fouler in the double bonus. Edgar picking up the personal, so 2 free throws for Cal State Fullerton.
Don't need him in foul trouble either.
It's actually Worku, Karan, they get for the foul, and that's, you could say the same about him. They can't have him in foul trouble, and that's 2 on Worku.
Yeah, you look at Worku and Edgar and Hazard. Those are the guys, and Leonard, playmakers, facilitators, score, find their own shot. You need them to be in for the duration of the game.
And we'll see if Russell Turner keeps Worku on the bench for the remainder of the half with 2 fouls, or if he comes back in when Irvine gets back on offense. Jackson Rowe, a potential most outstanding player at the Big West tournament. He had 18 points in the quarterfinals, including the game-winning shot. Had a double-double last night, 16 points, 11 rebounds, also 3 steals, and 4 points and 4 boards in this game tonight. Elston Jones off the front rim. They go back to Rowe. Rowe, great feet in the paint for the field goal.
He did a lot of that last game, where he just imposed his will on the game and was able to get them over the hump. And he's starting to do the same this game as well.
And the coaching staff says he doesn't say anything. He just leads by example, and other guys follow. UCI scoreless the last 4 minutes until now. What a play by Leonard. That's 18 points now in the first half for Evan Leonard. Timeout, Anteaters. Well, Cal State Fullerton trying to advance to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade. Dietrich Taylor in his 5th year as the head coach. First 3 years in conference play, they won 1 game, 3 games, 6 games. The last 2 years, 10 wins last year, 10 wins this year, and now a chance to go to the big dance. They overcame a 13-point deficit last night against the #1 seed UC Davis in the second half to make it to the championship game for the first time since '08. Here's Jamal Smith driving. Rowe's going to try a 3. And over the top of the backboard, Irvine can hold for the final shot of the half. I don't know if they'll be sending this first half to the Hall of Fame in terms of an offensive show. You got one team at 31% shooting, the other team at 26%. But give credit also to the defense. Irvine is one of the best defensive teams in the country. And it's Fullerton with the lead despite shooting 26%.
That's amazing, but both teams, as you touched on, playing excellent defense, making it difficult for the offensive guy.
Hazard's 3 no good. 3 seconds left as Ahmad gets the rebound. Ahmad 3/4 court. And Cal State Fullerton, thanks to terrific foul shooting, 13 of 16 at the line, will take a 4-point lead to the locker room. They started well. Irvine went on a 13-1 run. Neither team shooting well at all in the first half. But it doesn't matter because the winner gets a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. Irvine trying to get there for the second time. Fullerton trying to get there for the first time in a decade. After the break, Kevin Connors, LaFonso Ellis, Dan Dockich, the Audi halftime report. You're watching ESPN's coverage of Champ Week presented by Principal. Back at the Big West Championship game here in Anaheim, Cal State Fullerton looking to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade. Leads UC Irvine by 4. Dave Pasch with Karan Butler. And it was a great start to that first half for Cal State Fullerton. And a guy that struggled last night, Allman. It's nice to see both Allman and Leonard, two guys who struggled in the semifinals, bounce back on the biggest stage.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, it seems like Allman found his rhythm early and often. He came out with the mindset of getting into the seams, knocking down shots. And you see the versatility of Allman right here. Coming off, a little hip-hop action right there, getting this little step going, finding his rhythm, finding his groove. Contested shot right there. Beautiful day in the neighborhood for him.
And how about Leonard? At one point, 16 of the first 19 points, Karan, for UC Irvine.
Yeah, Leonard was just being aggressive. You know, not scored at all last game. Came out today. Coach Rush touched on it. We need him to be aggressive and score points, and that's exactly what he's doing. Clicking on all cylinders.
So to your point, 0 for 6 last night, 7 of 9 tonight for Leonard. Allman had 8 points last night. He's got 9 tonight, but boy, neither team shot the ball well, obviously, in that first half. Both teams 30% or under. The difference, Cal State Fullerton attempted 13 more free throws. A spot in the NCAA tournament at stake. Automatic bid to the winner of this game. And here's Allman in the paint. And the lead is 6.
Good patience right there by Allman. You know, not leaving his feet. Jump stop. Letting the defenders go by and going up for the smooth stroke.
First team all Big West performer. He's from Brooklyn. Worku, number 24 in white, did not score in the first half. He is the second leading scorer for UC Irvine. Edgar hits a 3. His best friend Lonzo Ball is here watching him. And the sophomore from Chino Hills gets Irvine within 3.
Yeah, Edgar is not hesitating at all. Catching, shooting the ball, finding his pocket, holding it for a limited time and letting it fly.
Khalil Ahmad hits the short turnaround.
That's a crafty move, using his footwork right there. Reverse pivot, getting the airspace, and following through for the tough angle J.
His first field goal. He's their second leading scorer on the year. Edgar tries it again. Off target this time. There's Ahmad falling away, was trying to draw a foul or at least get a call, and did not. Leonard pulls up and hits again. That's 20 points for Leonard.
He's just different today. Got a different bounce to him. You could tell that he came out here to impose his will on this game and get a victory.
You know, he got in foul trouble early. Karan, I'm sure you played against guys or played with guys. As Allman hits a 3, that when they get in foul trouble early, if their score, it gets them out of rhythm. He has not been in any kind of foul trouble tonight. Has not picked up a single personal.
No, Coach Rush touched on that. You know, offensively, he didn't have it going, and he actually fouled out last game. But defensively, he was still doing major things on that end.
Nice drive and score by Tommy Rutherford. A 3-point chance. Both teams playing better offensively here early on in the second half.
Look at that strong move. Getting the position by Rutherford. Look, going away from the double team baseline and going up against the contact of Rowe, finishing.
Second foul on Rowe. And the free throw good for Rutherford. First team all Big West. Those are his first points of the game. And Irvine back within 3. Here's Allman, 15 points. Khalil Ahmad deep into the paint. In and out. Back tap by Robertson. And an extra possession.
If you're Irvine, you need those possessions right there. No second chance opportunities.
Especially given how good defensively Irvine is. You know it's going to be a game where you don't have a ton of possessions. It's going to be low scoring. And so they give up a second chance basket there.
You think about it, Fullerton first half shooting 26% coming out in the second half, 4 for 5 field goals right now at 80%.
And a 5-point lead. And double dribble is called. I thought one official was going to call a foul, but it's a turnover by Rutherford.
So
I mentioned Lonzo Ball is here. He's really good friends with John Edgar, both from Chino Hills. How much better has Lonzo Ball been lately, and what's the reason why that we've seen a difference in Lonzo's game here lately for the Lakers?
I have to say one, he's available, so he's healthy, and two, it's the growing pains of the NBA. He's finding his stroke, he's finding his way, getting his legs up underneath him. He's playing excellent basketball for the Lakers.
Allman with another basket. It's 40-33. Worku finally on the scoreboard, his first points.
Dave, we talked about Worku. He's going to continue to be aggressive and find his way. I do not question his confidence at all.
Allman, speaking of confidence, on fire right now. They rule it a 3, and Cal State Fullerton's lead is 8.
You can see Allman, he's taking advantages of opportunity, getting airspace. He's making money moves.
Kyle Allman with 20 points, 10 in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And things getting a little chippy after the whistle as well here in Anaheim.
You see Kyle Allman just walking. Yep, you can't hold me. You can't hold me. Little bump action right there. Just letting everybody know that he's clicking on all cylinders. And I like the fact that, Galloway had came over there, him being a defensive guy and the defensive leader of this ball club, back-to-back defensive conference player of the year. He's trying to establish that tone.
Cal State Fullerton 6 of 8 in the second half after shooting 26% in the first half, and they just called Jackson Rowe for his 3rd personal foul.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How about the great second half for Kyle Allman, setting the tone offensively?
Look, he's been aggressive and finding his way. We touched on, didn't have the performance offensively that he wanted to have last game, but he was not second-guessing himself tonight. Came out being aggressive, dancing with the ball. Oh, he's in his flow.
He's from Brooklyn, and one of the benefits for Cal State Fullerton having a head coach in Dedrick Taylor, who was an assistant coach at a major program like Arizona State for all those years, where you're recruiting nationally. Well, they got a pipeline to New York with Malcolm Brooks, who was at Cal State Fullerton previously. And just over the course of recruiting Brooks and having him play out here on the West Coast, that led to finding out about Kyle Allman, a guy who was under-recruited in the New York City area. And how did UConn stumble upon you growing up in Racine, Wisconsin?
It's crazy because I went to prep school in Maine, and I was out there for 2 years with one of the best coaches I ever had in my life, mentor still to this day, Max Good. And I was out there, and Jim Calhoun came on the East Coast and saw me and gave a kid a chance and took full advantage of it.
And did you know when you left Racine and went to prep school that you were going to be a D1 player?
Absolutely. I felt like you got to have that approach and that edge about yourself, feeling that you're the best at what you do. And that's exactly how I felt.
A foul is called on the Rutherford dunk attempt by Akeem Robertson. That's his first and the third team foul on the Titans. None yet on UC Irvine. What do you think of the call here? Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like he got him there in the arm.
Yeah, it looked like he got him.
Rutherford just 3 points in the game. First team All Big West performer. Came down to UC Irvine and Harvard. And he chose Irvine. He's from San Diego, so you want to stay close to home. He's a civil engineer major.
Civil engineer major. What does that consist of?
You're asking a broadcast major, so.
I'm a guy of business, and yeah, I'm not going to ask him that after the game. I pride myself on knowing just about something about everything.
That hit the official, and then, boy, it looked like Khalil Ahmad body checked Leonard, but they're going to say the ball was just out of bounds, no foul. And the Irvine fans don't like the call. Pretty good house tonight. All Orange County battle. 5-point lead for Cal State Fullerton. Automatic bid to the NCAA tournament at stake. As Ahmad hits the fall away, and the lead is back to 7.
A sweet move right there. Ahmad just dipping his shoulder, getting some space, stepping back, one leg up, follow through. Cash.
That's 8 points for Khalil Ahmad. In and out on the 3. Offensive rebound. And then it's taken away. And Fullerton has it. Irvine gets 4 guys back, but Ahmad doesn't care. He goes right to the rim and scores.
Ahmad is single-handedly changing the momentum of this ball game. Even though that was 2 points, it felt like it was a 10-0 run by that bucket being scored by Ahmad.
Worku misses. Good hustle by Rutherford. And a held ball. It's going to stay with UC Irvine.
Look at Ahmad right here. Going the length of the floor. Starting on the left side. Knifing back to the right. And finishing over the length. Amazing.
Fullerton led the conference in shooting. Number 2 in three-point percentage. And they're shooting 40% now for the game after 26% shooting in the first half. They actually have more field goals this half already than they had the entire first half. And they built a 9-point lead. Their largest lead was 10 early in the ball game, but Irvine came back to take the lead late in the first half.
We talked about it. Somebody's going to get going offensively, and that's exactly what you see with Ahmad. This is the danger zone right now. If you're Irvine, you need to get points on the board and continue to get stops.
And Irvine's so good defensively. They held UC Santa Barbara to 20% shooting in the second half last night. Ahmad takes it away from Jones.
It's Ahmad again with the hustle play.
And then off Ahmad's hands, out of bounds.
Look at that. This is your leading scorer diving on the floor, getting after the play. And then Ahmad being unselfish, kicking it out. Those are championship plays right there, and that's how you win ball games.
Leonard, no off the window, rebounded by Devon Clare. Ahmad put on the line. It's good for Ahmad. He's got 12, and it's the largest lead of the night for Cal State Fullerton at 11.
Did Ahmad bring my phone out from OKC? I see you, young fella.
Yeah, you're claiming that, right? You have ownership on that move.
Every time you use it, that'll be $10.99.
Hazard. Nice shot there by Hazard. Just 6 points on the night for him off the bench.
Much needed bucket right there. And stepped up to one of their go-to guys in Hazard. using the left hand, avoiding all the contact and defense.
Check that, just 4 points, and that's his second field goal, and he had 31 points the last 2 games combined. Allman again, he's got 22 on the night. Led the conference in scoring during the regular season, just under 20 per game.
Mentally, Allman is on an island right now, all by himself. He's in a good place.
Hazard lost the ball, and it's an over and back violation. Cal State Fullerton in command right now. Karan leading by 11.
Look at Ahmad just finding a way to get open, finding the stroke. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good.
Behind the back.
You know that feeling that you only get this time of year?
For the win. Yes!
Welcome back.
Cal State Fullerton already with more field goals in the second half than they had the entire first half. They have an 11-point lead right now. 77% shooting, Karan, after they shot 26% in the first half. And then going to break here, more extracurricular activity. Akeem Robertson and Max Hazard colliding. Going to commercial earlier in the half, we saw a collision between Kyle Allman and 2 UC Irvine players. So Daryl Gelinas right now at the monitor looking to see if there should be a flagrant foul called or technical. They're actually looking right now at a jumper to see whether it's a 2 or a 3.
It looked like it looked clean. Looked just like it's a 3.
Thought that they were maybe looking to see if there was something flagrant, but nope, they're just looking at that jumper, which was ruled a 3 by Ahmad. I checked that it was ruled a 2. It was a long 2. So they'll stay with the 2. They'll stay with the ruling on the floor of a 2-point basket. And so Gerald Gelinas and Mike Cyphers both came over to tell us they didn't have enough video evidence to say that the ruling on the floor was wrong. So it's inconclusive, and it remains a 2-point basket and an 11-point lead for Cal State Fullerton. Now what has to change, Karan, for UC Irvine here?
Irvine, you got to go on a couple runs, 6-2 runs, and you have to score the ball. You got to put it in the hole, but you have to get stops on this end.
And they do there. Allman missing, rebounded by Werku. Has just 1 field goal in this game. They doubled Green on the low block, and they were in his cylinder, so it is a personal foul. 4th team foul on Cal State Fullerton. It's on Claire, his first. Irvine has yet to commit a foul through 9 minutes of the second half.
That's odd right there, because they're such a physical team on the defensive side of the floor. So to see that they haven't committed a foul,
it's not necessarily a good thing with the way they play. But offensively, Werku starting to heat up. And the lead is 8.
Seemed like the lid came off the basket right there for them. Werku and Hazard's going to have to find ways to insert themselves in this game.
Ahmad for 3. Now he's calling 2 people. He had 2 phones up. So you started that. You're telling me you started that in Oklahoma City.
Hey, man. No lies here.
And no credit? They didn't even look over here?
Hey, man. Guys so young, it's all about KYP, know your personnel. They probably didn't even see that footage. Probably was black and white.
Edgar can't answer. And Claire has it for Fullerton. Wishiku can't get it in the lane, and then a foul on Robertson. Second personal, 15 foul.
Look at the hustle play right here. Being real scrappy, kicking it out, finding the guy in rhythm. Splash. Okay.
There's the first phone, and then
he brought the other one. He had one phone, and he brought the burner out.
He's like you. He's got 2 phones. Is that an NBA player rule? You have to have 2 phones.
I got 2 phones. Kevin Gates.
Worku in the lane, kicks it out for Hazard.
Little hotline bling right there.
Good defense by Cal State Fullerton. Here's Ahmad again, hits it again.
We need to find out who was his carrier.
He's got 18 points, back-to-back threes, and it's a 14-point lead. Hazard misses in the paint. And then turns it over. And then Ahmad fouled. That's the 3rd on Worku and the 1st on Irvine here in the half.
And this is not the same play that you just saw. This is totally different. He's coming with the dribble now, rejecting the screen, and he's still connected.
And how about 4 of 4 3-point shooting for Cal State Fullerton? I'm trying to think of the last time I've seen any kind of turnaround like this. This is incredible to shoot 26% one half and close to 80% in the second half as a team.
When a guy is scoring the ball, as you see Ahmad is right now, this is the danger zone for UC Irvine. You have to find a way to cut his water off. Meaning you have to stop him, make his opportunities limited. Probably want to give him a little contact, give him a foul, disrupt his rhythm as much as possible.
Well, he did just miss on that last possession. Worku penetrates and flips it up and in. That was a tough shot.
The scoop runner.
And Allman turns it over.
You need a string of those right there. If you UC Irvine, and they're definitely capable of doing that.
Champ Week presented by Principal continues tomorrow at 1 Eastern. It's the SEC Championship game. It's on ESPN, the ESPN app. It will be Kentucky, which throttled Alabama today, taking on Tennessee. $12-point game here at the Big West title in Anaheim. Automatic bid at stake. Galloway on the floor, gets it out to Leonard. Edgar pulls it back, now tries again. Edgar with 2 to shoot, has to put it up, and he traveled. Fullerton right now has control of this ball game. 12-point lead. A championship game spot in the NCAA tournament at stake. And emotions are high, leading to some chippiness post-whistle. We've seen 3 minor altercation bumps. We saw 1 push while the teams are going to their respective huddles. This was the first one after Allman got hot. You mentioned it, Galloway trying to set a tone, and then the big guy for Cal State Fullerton, Robertson, doing that to Hazard. Here was during the last time out.
Yeah, I like it. You know, guys are getting after it. You know, this is, you know, wake up or keep dreaming. Go hard or go home. All or nothing. Barbecue or mildew. Everybody's engaged, and they're leaving it all out there. This is for a trip to the NCAA tournament, baby. Like, this is what it's all about. No friends. Leave it all out there on the court.
And with the way this league has been, you don't know when your next shot's going to be to get there. We've had 7 different champs in the Big West tournament in the last 7 years. If Cal State Fullerton wins, it'll be 8 in the last 8 years. Fullerton hasn't been there since 2008.
And that's why there's no guarantees. You know, in sports, there's no guarantees in life. And that's why when you're in the moment, You have to be the best version of yourself and leave it all out there and let the chips fall where they may.
Smith penetrates and gets it. Great shot by Jamal Smith, the coach's son. Knocked out of bounds by Smith.
It's quick with the finish right there. Smith was just driving, not even second guessing himself, finishing with the left hand amongst trees.
Here's Leonard. He's been quiet in the second half. Just 2 points after 18 in the first half. A foul committed by Jamal Smith. That's the 16th foul on Cal State Fullerton.
You know, you talk about Leonard as you see him, you know, walking gingerly. They're throwing bodies at him. They're keeping a fresh body on him at all times.
Yeah, throwing a lot of different guys in his face here in the second half to try to slow him down. Worku missed the first time and the second, and then the rebound for Rowe. Inside 7 minutes to go here in the second half. Ahmad pulls up and knocks down another one.
I think it's safe to say he's having an out-of-body performance right now. Knocking down runners, three-point shots.
He's got 20, Karan. He didn't have a field goal in the first half. He's made 8 baskets in the second half and now has 20 points. It's a 16-point lead, and Cal State Fullerton has the ball. And UC Irvine, one of the best defensive teams in the country, but in the second half tonight, they have not been able to get any stops. Fullerton shooting around 70%. Ahmad from the hash mark had to throw that up with a shot clock at 1.
Almost went in for him, too. Just that type of game for him.
Jackson Rowe just picked up his 4th foul on that entry pass. It'll be a 1-and-1.
This is not for the game. This is just the second half. These baskets that you're seeing by Ahmad. You see him on the logo, knocking down the 3 on the perimeter, putting the ball on the floor, showing his versatility and his creativity. Pulling out 2 phones, coming down, the hezzy, the fadeaway, hold that. He's in the rhythm.
20-point second half for Khalil Ahmad. Check that all of his field goals have come in the second half, but 18 of the 20 points in the second half for Ahmad. And one thing in talking with Dedrick Taylor he said was going to be key is running their offense and protecting the basketball. They've only had 5 turnovers in this game. Only 2 in the second half. But now Rowe has 4 fouls. We'll see what kind of an impact that has on this Fullerton team as UC Irvine brings some backcourt pressure. And the Titans get it across. Here comes Ahmad.
You have to find a way to, force someone else to beat you. Ahmad can't continue to get clean looks.
Timer at 5. Claire drives, and it's good for Claire. It's a 16-point lead. They have twice as many baskets in the second half as they had in the first as a team. The turnaround is good for Brad Green.
Coach Russ and those guys, they're going to continue to compete and continue to fight. You see Coach Russ on the sideline, egging the guys to get up, play defense, stay aggressive on the defensive end.
Allman fouled on the way up. Well, tomorrow night, we showed you Lonzo Ball earlier. You'll get to see him in action against the Cleveland Cavaliers at 9 Eastern, 6 local time on ESPN and the ESPN app. LeBron James and the Cavaliers in the midst of a 6-game West Coast road trip. They beat Denver on Wednesday, lost Friday night to the Clippers, and they'll play ball on the Lakers tomorrow night.
Looking forward to seeing that game.
So you going with Cleveland to come out of the East, or Toronto or Boston?
I still got Cleveland coming out the Eastern Conference. And, you know, big shout out to LeBron James. You know, playing in these games in Los Angeles. You see the billboards up. Wanted him to be here.
Allman, exclamation point on this one. They can feel it now. 16-point lead with 4 minutes to go.
They're ready for the madness.
The number 4 seed in the Big West tournament. Ahmad probably should have just pulled that out there with a healthy lead.
Definitely, out of his many shots today, that was one of the bad ones.
And a foul on Jamal Smith.
See the shot right there by Hazard. And they're getting it out in transition. And Allman going out. And it's finishing strong for the 2. No hands.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance.
So Cal State Fullerton just 3 minutes and 52 seconds away from making it 8 winners in the last 8 years of the Big West tournament. It was UC Davis last year. Fullerton knocked them out last night in the semifinals. Irvine went in 2015, but is just 1-5 all time in Big West championship games. And Cal State Fullerton by 16. Max Hazard trying to get some points with the clock stopped. It's a 1-1. His first free throw attempt of the game. And they'll stay with full court pressure, try to create some turnovers in the backcourt to get some transition buckets. But only 5 turnovers by Cal State Fullerton. They've done a great job protecting the ball. Blocking foul is called here on Hazard. That's the 19th foul, so Allman will have a 1-and-1.
Allman did an excellent job of just drawing that contact and being quick on the move and decisive. You know, not allowing UC Irvine to trap him in the backcourt or anything like that. He was the aggressor.
Check that Irvine not on the penalty yet, so side out for Cal State Fullerton. A good job getting it across. Smith gives it up. Baseline move by Robertson, but he couldn't get the basket. And then Jones with a rebound. He shoves Robertson. Trailer spinning. Edgar for 3. No good. And bodies hit the floor as Leonard and Smith collide. And second, they're going to call it on Leonard of UC Irvine. And I'm surprised the officials are letting that go.
Letting them play. I mean, it's physical play, but they just letting them play. Another thing, Maybe they're ready to get out of here.
14th foul on UC Irvine. Almost a steal by Hazard, but he ran into Smith. And Smith slow to get up. And they're just going for the ball there, so incidental contact. Still could have called a foul. Just because you're going for the ball doesn't mean it's not a foul. And they probably should have.
I like the edge that Hazard's playing with. You know, still getting into the grill of the players and, you know, leaving it all out there.
Kick ball.
Timeout by Fullerton.
They got a 14-point lead. 3:03 remaining. Dietrich Taylor, who played in this conference at UC Davis, got his coaching start there, then went to Arizona State as an assistant for Herb Sendek. He's been to one NCAA tournament. That was back when James Harden was playing at ASU. Now trying to get there in his 5th year as the head coach at Cal State Fullerton. And every season over the last 3 years, he's increased their win total. Got a 3-year contract extension last spring. And 3 minutes away from getting the Titans to their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2008. They haven't even been to the NIT since 2005.
How amazing is that? Just improving your win total every season, getting guys to buy into your philosophies, and it was amazing just hearing him speak last game at halftime and then pregame today, just talking to the guys, rallying the troops, getting them all engaged mentally and physically to come out here and get a quality win, and they're on their way to one.
They changed inbounders. They had Ahmad inbounding in the last play. It's a Wishika that gets it in. And they get it across the timeline without incident. And they've done an excellent job protecting the ball, just committing 5 turnovers. A Wishika underneath, and a foul is called as Robertson will shoot 2. Rutherford picks up his 3rd personal foul. Well, Fullerton attempted 16 free throws in the first half. That's how they stayed in the game, but they have not taken any here in the second half. Robertson, a 66% shooter. Jamal Smith checks back in.
Even though Fullerton got a cushion right here, they're still engaged. They're not too much celebrating. They're trying to close UC Irvine out.
But just looking at the bench, every single guy on the bench keeps looking up at the clock, as you start to sense it as the lead remains at 15, and now the clock at 2:30.
Still playing smart. Not trying to hold the ball in double teams. Still playing aggressive. You see the play right there. The Allman.
And a good save by Robertson. Allman's going to slow it down. They have to put up something here soon. They got the timer at 8. And Dietrich Taylor, the head coach, just pointed that out. Shot clock at 4. Allman for 3. And we're inside 2 minutes to go now. Werku hits the 2.
Still picking up full court.
And then Ahmad is fouled. They're not over the limit just yet. It's a 6th team foul. All right, assuming Fullerton hangs on, Karan, what will this team need to do to pull an upset in the NCAA tournament?
Play exactly the way they played this second half. Offensively, defensively, the 50-50 balls, diving on the floor for loose balls, imposing their will on this game. That's exactly how they have to play. And they very well can upset someone.
I mean, they've got guys that can score and can score in bunches. Allman has 24 tonight. Ahmad has 20 tonight. I mean, both guys have had some big games this year. Allman's had a 40-point game, 4 30-point games. Ahmad had 56 points in 2 games against the best team in the conference during the regular season, UC Davis. So they do have guys that can get hot and carry you. A lot obviously is going to depend on who they play, and if they end up as a 16 seed and they have to play a Kansas, obviously that's a lot different than if they get a 13 or a 14. But you'd have to think as a number 4 seed in the Big West, chances are they're going to be playing a 1 or a 2 if they don't have to play in the first 4 this week in Dayton.
It's all about matchups, whoever you play, and they have the personnel to compete on any level against anyone. And let's face it, we're talking about their third option who really carried them last game in Rowe. He didn't particularly have a great offensive game, and they still imposed their will on this game and was able to walk away possibly with 1:30 left on the clock with a quality win.
That's a great point. I mean, they're not here without the play of Jackson Rowe. They wouldn't even won the quarterfinal game. He hit the game-winning shot in the quarterfinals and was in foul trouble for a good part of this game. We've got a held ball. Rowe going to check back in for Cal State Fullerton. And also, how about defensively, the job they did on Evan Leonard in the second half tonight after he was hot in the first half?
I feel like basketball is all about making adjustments and making adjustments on the fly. Tournament play, you don't have the time to review film again and come back and get another shot at it. It's one and done. And they did an excellent job of just keying in on Leonard and slowing him down, and offensively just getting engaged and start making shots.
Ahmad has it swatted out of there by Galloway. That was a windup block by Galloway.
All right, at this point, I feel like Ahmad should dribble the clock out as much as possible. Have the game won. Don't get too thirsty out there. Hold the ball. Let the clock run out. You had a magnificent game.
Look at the Cal State Fullerton crowd. They're so used to success in baseball that it's been a long time since the Titan men's basketball team has been able to celebrate like this, and their fans have been able to celebrate. And that will do it. Ahmad with a 3. He's calling everybody now.
Called his moms, his pops, auntie, uncle, cousins, neighborhood. Lonzo, what's up, Zo? he got the quiet the crowd thing going on. He got all the antics.
And both teams now realizing this game is over, going to get some of their subs in to close out the final 33 seconds. Ahmad with 23 points, 21 in the second half.
What do you guys want? I think
Be the 20th win for Fullerton.
Let me double check. Eric, you guys want a mock, right? It's fast,
Edgar for 3. And out of bounds. It'll stay with Irvine. Cal State Fullerton's been to the NCAA tournament only twice. 1978 and 2008. Those were the 2 conference championships for Cal State Fullerton. But they're going in 2018. Foul here on Brad Green, who'll go to the line for 2.
They got to this game in such an unconventional way. Talking about beating UC Davis 3 times this season and being able to pull that off
And Karan, it's a really interesting. Dietrich Taylor, you had a lot of players who were already celebrating with friends and family. The game's still going on. The head coach, Dietrich Taylor, had to go all the way down, not only to the end of the bench, but off the hardwood, actually off the court, to grab some of his players to get them out of the pile of fans celebrating on the end and get them back to the bench.
Well, you saw Coach go down there and just say, you know, show some respect, show some class, you know, for your competition. But, you know, it's hard to channel that. They're so young. Kids celebrating. Amazing moment right now
for the
their
first time
university.
in a decade, Cal State Fullerton going to the NCAA tournament.
About what? Ahmad?
So, Karan, you look at what Fullerton was able to do. Most thought it was going to be UC Davis winning this championship, but it's the 4-seed Cal State Fullerton that does it. What stood out to you most about the way Fullerton played throughout this championship?
I felt like, you know, they came with a sense of desperation. And I feel like that's the type of energy and play that you need, and it's required when you're in a one-and-done situation. And, you know, this is a one-bid conference, as we touched on pregame and throughout the game. And the team that's most desperate is going to have the strongest possibility in advancing. And the most desperate team today, Fullerton, that's exactly who they were. Effort, energy, everything.
And you think they have a chance to upset somebody with some of their skill offensively?
We talked about it. They have an interesting team in which they have multiple guys that can play at a high level, and they can make things happen. They believe. That's the one thing that you have to have in the run, in the stretch run. You have to believe, and that's exactly what they pose. They believe right now.
All right, final score: Cal State Fullerton 71, UC Irvine 55. Cal State Fullerton going to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade. For Karan Butler, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pash. Coming up next on ESPN2, E60 Ryan Leaf, presented by Liberty Mutual. They're celebrating in Anaheim. Cal State Fullerton just down the street. They get the automatic bid out of the Big West tournament. They're going dancing.